Alright, welcome back to part 2 of this Jackman Resume thing. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and continue on with that second part of this module. So the first thing we're going to do on page 532 is we're going to insert a quick part. Alright, so we just added a building block a little bit ago with that New Orleans text, the auto text shortcut. Now we're going to insert a draft. So we've seen these before when we did our watermarks, but these are, again, those are just quick parts. So let's go ahead. We're going to go to our View tab. Alright. And then on our View tab, we're going to click on One Page so we can see this document. Alright, now let's go to the Insert tab. And then in that text group, we're going to go over there and we are going to click on the Quick Parts button. Alright, so from here we're going to go ahead and go to our building block organizer. And then we're going to scroll through these so you can see we've got different names, we've got different categories, we've got templates and galleries. So if you look at these by gallery, you'll see what starts out: auto text, bibliography, cover pages, they're all together, equations, footers, headers, it lists them by gallery. If we click on this category, it will categorize them. So simple, built-ins, confidential, general, all those different options. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on the gallery button because we want to sort it by gallery. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring it to find our watermarks. So we're going to go through the galleries down near the bottom, and then here's our watermarks right over here. So we're going to choose the Draft 1 watermark down at the bottom. It's going to be that diagonal gray text. And let's click on the Insert, and there you can see we've got that building block put in. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to save this as a PDF. So there's a couple different ways you could do this. You can create it, you can save it, or you can export it. And I think this one wants us to do an export. So I'm going to go to my Home tab, or sorry, my View tab, and do page width because I just like to see it in this way. Do a save this right now, and then I'm also going to go to do File to open up my Backstage, and then I'm going to click on my Export button. So not my Save As, but my Export option. And then here you can see we've got these different options right here. You probably don't have Create Adobe PDF because I've got an Adobe built-in on mine, but you're going to go ahead and create this PDF XPS document. So click on that one, and then over here it's going to say Preserves Layout, Formatting, and all that. Go ahead and say Create. And then now we're going to bring it to where we want. Again, I'm just going to keep it in the same folder in my Assignments Module 5. And I'm going to call it this Jackman Resume, but right down here the Save As file type is going to be a PDF extension. Alright, and so now if this is not checked, go ahead and say Open after publishing because we want to open it as a PDF. So I'm going to click on that one, and then I'm going to say Publish, and then now it's going to open up as a PDF. And there it is. So if we can look at it, so that's that resume that we've just created. Pretty sneaky, sis. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close this. And another thing we can do, I'm going to also close this one for a moment. Right, and another thing we can do is we can open up a PDF to edit it. So I'm going to go to my Backstage View, and then Open, and then browse to find where to save it, to load it from where I've saved it. And here it is right there, the little PDF. It's got the, come on, so here's our Adobe PDF. Can I expand this a little bit? There we go. And it's got the little PDF logo icon. Here's the Word icon. So we're going to go ahead and click on that PC. Alright, and it says Word will now convert this PDF into an editable document. It may take a while. Yep, we're going to go ahead and say OK. But it didn't take too long. Alright. So now we're going to go ahead and look at this in our print layout view. So it's print layout is how it pops up. And then you'll notice it's the same thing that we've saved, only now this is all as one table. Alright. So now we can determine if this document is compatible with what we're working on. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up our Backstage view again to determine compatibility. And then we're going to click on this check for issues and then check compatibility. So this is going to say the following features in this document are not supported. Shapes and text boxes will be converted. And so in the textbook, it's got a couple different ones that are there, but this one says shapes and text boxes. There's 88 occurrences of that. That's craziness. Alright. So we're going to say OK. So we do have a couple issues there. But now we can also save a document in an earlier form of the software. So a lot of people may not be running Office 365 or Office 2019 or Office 2016 or even Office 2013. They might be running a software version older than that. If that's the case, then we can save this document in an earlier format version of Word as well. So let's go ahead and we're going to go on to open our Backstage view, and then we're going to go export again, and then this time we're going to change the file type. And here we've got several different options. We can save it as a template, as open document text, as plain text, rich text formatting. We're going to choose this Word 97 to 2003. We're going to choose that option, and then we're going to go ahead and save it. Alright, and so now it's going to open up, ask us what we want to save it. I'm going to save it to my assignments for Module 5, and this one is the Jackman Resume, and the save as type is going to be that 97 to 2003 version. It's all good. I'm going to say go ahead and save. Now this one again, our compatibility checker says there's some things that may not work for us, and we're going to say go ahead. Yep. So now if we were to do, if we had a document that had smart art in it, or that had some of the other advanced features in Microsoft Word, we would have a lot of those. It would save those as objects instead of as the features that they really are. So we're going to go ahead and say continue, and so now you can see right up here it tells us that this is in compatibility mode. Alright, so now we've got this 3 different versions. I'm going to come to my file manager, so you can see we've got the Jackman Resume, which is the standard Word document. We've got the resume as a PDF, and then we've got this resume as a 97 to 2003 document. So you can see the different icons indicate the different file extensions. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to save this onto our OneDrive. So hopefully you've got your OneDrive set up. If not, that's not that big of a deal. You could probably skip this step. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a file. And I think it wants us to do a share for this one. Yep, so we're going to click on the share button. And then on this share pane, we're going to say, we're going to do share with people. Yeah, so share with people. And then save to cloud. Alright, and then actually I think it wants us to do the, does it want us to do the, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close this one. Sorry about that. Close this one, and then I'm going to reopen the DOCX version. So the original one, that one. Alright, and here we're going to go ahead and do a file, and then share with people to cloud. And then here's my OneDrive is right there. And I'm not going to share it to like a specific person since I've already got my OneDrive associated with this. I'm just going to save it to OneDrive. And now it's saved to my OneDrive as well. Alright. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to come back here, close that out, and then now we're going to remove that watermark. So we've got this, you can see we've got this watermark built in here. Let's go to that design tab, and then our watermark and our page background, and we're just going to say remove watermark to take that watermark out, and then we're going to save it, same file, and now we can send a document using email. So and again, you might not be able to do this on the computer at school. You could do this at your home computer, but not at school. So in this case, because I've got my Outlook account associated to my Microsoft Word, I'm going to do a file, share, email, and then I'm going to send this as an attachment, I believe. Yes, as an attachment. And it will automatically open up. So here's the attachment. It's coming from my school account, and I'll send it to my personal account. So there's Shannon. I could send it to Shannon, or I can send it to my personal. I can just send it to my Gmail account as well. And then I can say hi or hey, whatever. Hi. Per your request, attached is my resume. Period. I look forward to discussing the job opening. And then I can send it from Dwayne Jackman. Alright. And then I'm just going to do a control print screen, and that will save a copy of this just in case I had to turn it in later. And then I can click the send button to send that item. Alright. And now if I want to create this as a web page, I can also create this as a web page. So I'm going to have my 2019 version of this document open, and then let's go to File, and then we're going to go to our Export option again, and then change file type, and then in here, single file web page we're going to choose, and then save as, and then again I'm going to bring it up to where I keep my files, so my flash drive, assignments for module 5, and then Jackman Resume as a web page. Save it. Auto saves your changes, make them, yep, got it. And then now you can see it saved it as a web page. So it's got a little different look to it. All right. And I did not get the little change title option that popped up for me. Alright. So now we can go ahead and we can format some text as a hyperlink. And now that this is a web page, I'm going to select this DJ97 Cengage and right click on it and then say link. And then we're going to say email address. The text to display is that DJ97. I don't know why it got out of it. Oh, wait a minute. Does it want us to? Yeah, it wants us to change it to that. So the text to display, we're going to say that DJ97 at Cengage. Alright, and then in our email address, DJ97 at cengage.net. The subject is, what are we changing the subject to? We're not changing the subject to anything. For the subject, I would definitely put something. I would say job inquiry or something like that. And then in the screen tip, I'm going to type send email message to Dwayne Jackman. Oopsie. Alright. Now, and again, you don't have to put anything in this subject line, but I just, as long as I'm doing it, I prefer to put something in. So if you want to type something else, go ahead. And OK. And then if we hover over this, oh, you can see I spelt my text wrong, but send email message to Dwayne Jackman. I'm going to edit this hyperlink. So Cengage. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now I can change my style set if I need to for this web design. So I'm going to go to my Design tab and then click on the More buttons for my styles. And then I'm going to go to the Shaded option in the style set. So I believe that's right here, Shaded. Click on that one. And now that's going to give me this little shaded option. And now I can highlight some text that I want to make it stand out. So in this case, it's going to be the sales representative position. Right up here, to obtain a sales representative position. And I'm going to click on the highlight color. So in my Home tab, this little highlight color, and I'm going to choose the option, the yellow highlight. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and save this again. Alright, and then the next step is to test your document in a web browser, and this is the last thing that we're going to do. We're going to go to our File Explorer button. Alright. So I'm assuming we're going to go down here. And it wants us to go, actually, let's go ahead here. Alright. I don't know where it wants us to go, but it wants us to double click. Oh, it wants us to go right here. Sorry, in our Explorer. So the 1023 assignments, module 5. Alright, so here's our web page, the MHTML. It wants us to go right over there, so double click on that, and then it will open it up as a web page. Alright, and then it says with the web page open, click on the email link to make sure it works. Do you want to allow this website? Yeah. So you can do that, and then make sure that that works. Close that out, and then shut that down. Go back here, and then this is your completed project. So that's it. So close all those files, save changes as necessary, and you are done.